Drones have struck a 91N6 radar station, part of Russia's S-400 air defense system, in temporarily occupied Crimea. Dossier Shpiona Telegram channel reported this news and published photos of the damaged equipment. The attack reportedly took place on April 25th near the city of Saki and involved 3 drones. The strike damaged the radar's tracking antenna. Based on the images released, the radar appears to be non-operational and likely requires repairs. The type of drones used in the strike remains unknown. Russian authorities rarely publish photos of drone wreckage when their facilities or critical assets are hit. The disabling of radar systems could reduce the effectiveness of Russian air defenses in the area, increasing the likelihood that Ukrainian drones and missiles can evade detection and reach their targets. The 91N6 radar, featuring a dual-sided phased array antenna, is a component of the S-400 missile system and is used for early detection of aerial targets. Russian sources claim the system can detect aerodynamic targets at ranges of up to 600 kilometers. Recently, the Russians also filmed a Ukrainian drone of an unknown model hitting their mobile dosimeter radar in the Kursk region. It is reported that the radar was struck on April 20th by an aircraft-type drone. Video footage shows a drone targeting a mobile dosimeter band 2-coordinate radar, identified as either a P-15 or its upgraded version, the P-19. The drone hit the equipment compartment directly, likely disabling the radar. Another road of death. A Russian tank encountered a Ukrainian drone. Ukrainian drones have become a serious threat to Russian battle lines and supply routes, significantly altering the dynamics of the conflict. Operating with precision and often at low cost, these drones can strike fuel depots, artillery positions, and even command posts deep behind enemy lines. Long-range drone strikes have hit key logistics hubs in Crimea and Russia's Belgorod and Kursk regions, disrupting troop movements and supply chains. Additionally, first-person view FPV drones are being used at the front lines to target armored vehicles and bunkers, often bypassing traditional defenses. Their flexibility, affordability, and ability to evade detection make them a powerful asymmetric tool in Ukraine's arsenal. SBUs Alpha Group continues to torch Russian armor with precision drone strikes. 6 tanks, 2 IFVs, and a BM-21 Grad wiped out. Ukraine's SBU Alpha Group, an elite special operations unit, has played a pivotal role in ambushing and destroying Russian armored vehicles across the front. Operating behind enemy lines and in contested zones, Alpha Group teams specialize in anti-armor missions using advanced drones, Javelin and Stugna P anti-tank missiles, and coordinated artillery strikes. Their tactics often involve identifying Russian armor columns or supply convoys, marking targets for drone surveillance, and then striking with lethal precision. Video footage released by the SBU regularly shows successful hits on tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and mobile artillery systems. In several instances, Alpha operatives have used first-person view drones to fly directly into the vulnerable points of Russian armor, causing catastrophic damage. These missions are critical in slowing Russian advances, breaking up assaults, and weakening supply lines. The body of Ukrainian journalist Victoria Roshina, handed over to the Ukrainian side by the Russians, was returned missing several internal organs. According to the investigative organization Forbidden Stories, a medical examination in Ukraine revealed the absence of her eyeballs, part of her trachea, and her brain. An international forensic pathology expert stated that such alterations may have been intentional, possibly to conceal evidence of strangulation. Peace talks on Ukraine hit a dead end. Putin demands control of Zaporizhzhia and Kherson. He rejected a ceasefire along the front line, insists on full control of occupied regions, and wants recognition of all annexed territories, not just occupied Crimea. The drunken sermons of the old men continue. Lukashenko speaks of the atrocities of Ukrainian and Baltic Nazis, as if the Russian army appears pure and innocent in comparison.
We bring up witness testimonies about how the bellies of pregnant women were slashed open, infants' heads were smashed with rifle butts, year-old children were thrown into the windows of burning houses, Babies were tossed and caught on bayonets. Mothers who saw this and went mad were hunted like animals. Earlier, these documents were classified. Well, it was not customary during Soviet times to talk about the particular cruelty demonstrated by Lithuanian, Latvian, and Ukrainian Nazis. And today, in the Baltic countries and Ukraine, the youth wave the flags of the SS division and erect monuments to fascist executioners. And all this happens with the silent consent of the rest of the West. But we should not remain silent. That is why we have gathered here today.
Ukraine's aid will be strengthened under Merz. Ukraine's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, SBU, spoke with Germany's future foreign minister. I informed Johann Vodful about the battlefield situation and Ukraine's peace efforts. I appreciate his consistent personal stance in support of our shared principles and his confirmation that the next German government will maintain and enhance support for Ukraine, said Ukraine's foreign minister. The French Navy successfully tested a maritime strike drone, hitting a decommissioned ship during military exercises. Admiral Nicolas Vaujour, Chief of Staff of the French Navy, released the footage of the test. On April 26th, off the coast of Toulon, a modified strike hydrocycle drone hit the hull of a decommissioned amphibious assault ship, causing damage and confirming its technical readiness. The aim of the experiment was to confirm the French Navy's ability to deploy maritime drones at sea. It is part of the larger Polaris initiative aimed at preparing the French fleet for modern threats. This experiment, which took place amid an increasingly unstable international situation, is part of the latest tests conducted by the French Navy to enhance the readiness of crews and ships for high-intensity combat operations, Nicolas Vaujour stated. For the safety of the tests and to minimize collateral damage, the French fleet prepared a decommissioned target ship, clearing it of contaminants, fuel, and other substances. The ship was also fitted with an additional metal plate at the point of impact of the drone. However, as seen in the video, due to the drone's difficult maneuverability, it missed the target and veered off to the side. This demonstrates that the prototype of the French system still has several issues that need to be addressed. The results and analysis of the experiment conducted on April 26th will allow us to improve remotely controlled maritime munitions, both in terms of deployment and guidance, as well as explosive materials, stated the press service of the French Navy. Meanwhile, a subsidiary of the French defense giant Naval Group, the company Sirena, is already testing the prototype of its multi-purpose maritime drone, S-400, which was developed based on the experience gained from the Russian-Ukrainian war. The 10-meter-long remotely controlled vessel has a high level of autonomy and is capable of performing missions lasting up to 24 hours. The drone is designed as a versatile platform capable of carrying various payloads depending on the mission requirements, such as reconnaissance, electronic warfare, patrolling, anti-submarine warfare, or attacking surface vessels. One of the things we've learned is the development cycle in Ukraine, where they move from one version to another every 6 months. And this is not only because they are extremely fast, but also because the enemy is creating new defense systems, said Pierre-Antoine Fleich, head of unmanned systems product lines at Naval Group. That's why we created Sequest as a highly modular platform, and why we want to develop tactics for the machines in collaboration with end users, because we know that these tactics will evolve every 6 to 9 months.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.